they are suffering from deliberate ignorance and want the entire Ghanaian populace to share in their malady. Fortunately, Ghanaians have proven time and again that we are able to see and avoid such wicked propaganda meant to keep our populace uneducated, impoverished, and ignorant while they enjoy the benefits of state whenever they are in power. Today, the NDC made frivolous claims that we will deal with clearly. They first claim that the Vice President has moved from the field of economics to technology. Come to think of it, is this a display of poverty of thought or a complete misunderstanding of what economic management is all about? So, in the knowledge of the NDC, economic management is anything but for technology. Is there any better economy in the world that has not gone the digital way? Are they saying that ensuring mobile money payment interoperability, electronic payment system, national identification, digital property address, digitized land records, paperless port system, and others are part of economic management? You see, if you have a party that only believes that GDP, inflation, interest rates, etc. are the only things to consider as economic management, then we have a problem as a country. And for the information of the NDC, all the economic fundamentals such as GDP, inflation, interest rate, budget deficit, trade balance, and so on have been fixed by His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Alhaj led economic management team. Relative to what we inherited, we are doing these alongside building a formalized economy through digitization. We can say that the alternative to the MPP, which is the NDC, is still scary, very, very scary. No wonder, during their rule, a former vice president once said he wants to be .com millionaire and summon his advisors and tax them to show him what the dot on the keyboard could do. Thankfully, we have a Vic like Dr. Bawumia who knows his onions when it comes to deploying technology to facilitate the delivery of governance services and help leapfrog economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, they say that Dr. Bawumia has said that the MPP government has delivered on many of its promises, and so he is a liar. They then went on to say that the MPP has not fulfilled all of its promises in 2 years. The emphasis is on all. In 2 years. And have failed the good people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, is it not clear that they have failed to appreciate the 4-letter word many? Do they understand what many means? Is it not clear that this whole press conference was organized because they think the people of Ghana cannot see the difference between many and all? What is even more baffling is that they admit that His Excellency the Vice President stated that the MPP government is on track to deliver on all of its promises. So clearly, there is no attempt to pretend that all of the promises have been achieved. Looking at the mess they left, evidenced by the huge deficit and other indicators, this government has done astronomically well to bring our country to today. Understanding of the word many has led to the disgraceful dance that our friends on the other side are engaged in. Again, they have sought to tell Ghanaians bold-faced lies. Ghanaians have short memories. Let us now examine their claim to see the veracity of all these claims they made today. 1 million per constituency. The NDC claimed that the Akufo Addo administration has failed to deliver the 1 million per constituency and that And the first year, nothing was done. May I take this opportunity to state that the MPP, mindful of the probability that funds could be wasted if proper structures were not put in place, decided to carefully construct a structure to ensure accountability and value for money. That is the more reason why today we have the Northern Development Authority, we have the Middle Belt Development Authority, and we have the Coastal Belt Development Authority as well. As we speak, laws for all these development authorities have been passed. Do we need to remind Ghanaians of how funds under the infamous JIDA were released hurriedly and spent wickedly, resulting in over 1 billion Ghana cedis wasted of public funds? After investigations, it was the case that we were told it was because we had no laws and proper structures to demand accountability. How shameful. What happened to the cronies and business associates of ex-President Mahama who were involved, apart from Abu Gapele, who they sacrificed? Ask yourself, where are the rest? Where are their cronies, their friends, the people who took part in this whole bizarre scheme that is JIDA? The MPP therefore did the right thing and spent the initial stages setting up the structures. It is sad that the NDC have not repented from their evil ways through which they stole government funds. The NDC claimed that under 1 million one constituency policy, government can boast of only KVIPs. The facts are that the MPP promised 1 million per constituency in its manifesto through IPEC. As we speak, every constituency can boast of at least 3 of these projects. Warehouse as part of the One District, One Warehouse project, One Village, One Dam project, community-based water system, 10-seater institutional toilet. Sure, bottom-up approach to development. Then we can say that IPEC is achieving its purpose on delivering on the basic needs of the people. We can also appreciate the frustration of the NDC MPs in this particular matter, because $1 million per constituency, probably they were of the view and they were expecting that monies were to be given or allocated to them. But unfortunately, there are structures to disburse these monies, and it is dangerous to ask a lion to look after goats. The NDC also claimed that the MPP government has increased borrowing and taxation beyond measure. This is absolutely false. And I repeat, this is absolutely false. The irony of the situation is that Mr. Setepe, former Minister of Finance under the Mahama, declared on August 23, 2016, the article can be found on .com, that the NDC had unduly taxed Ghanaians. In response to fact, the MPP, upon assumption of office, abolished over 17 taxes, and including there was a reduction of the national electrification levy from 5% to 3%. We also reduced the public lighting levy from 5% to 2%. We replaced young graduates. 17.5% VAT NHIL on financial services was also scrapped. 17% VAT and NHIL on selected imported medicine that are not produced locally were also scrapped. We also initiated steps, or we have initiated steps to remove import duties on raw materials and machinery for production within the context of the ECOWAS Common External Tariff, the CET protocol. Again, the 17.5% VAT NHIL on domestic airline ticket also scrapped. 5% VAT NHIL on real estate sales also scrapped. 1% special import levy also scrapped, just to mention a few. So, when these taxes were abolished, the same NDC led by Honorable James Aveji said that the MPP government should not abolish these taxes because we will not get enough revenue. They introduce a tax on mobile money. Today, these same advisors that were calling for more taxes on Ghanaians are shouting that we have taxed Ghanaians overly. How does this work? What economic model is this? Or is it a case of opposition for the sake of opposition? Ghanaians are willing under the heavy burden of taxation. Then under NDC, Ghanaians were buried alive by taxes. Debt management. Ladies and gentlemen, NDC appeared in their press conference to have problem with debt management strategies of this government. Friends of the media, any better debt management irrespective of the approach should ultimately lead you to a proper fiscal consolidation that achieves reduced debt to GDP ratio, while at the same time increasing growth. What was the level of increase of debt during the NDC? What was the debt of GDP ratio and what was the growth rate? What are the statistics for these indicators for the MPP? The NDC inherited a total public debt of 8.9 billion from President Akufo, increased it to 122.3 billion, an increase of about 114 billion cedis. Increased our debt to GDP ratio from 32 to 73.1%, and then reduced our growth rate from 8.5% to 3.7%. Conversely, the MPP has reduced the debt to GDP ratio from 73% to 53%. Very, very, very significant. 73% to 57%. And growth and in our economy, from the growth rate in our economy to, we have shot it up from 3.7% to 8.1%. See, reduced our debt service burden and enhanced economy than more than what the NDC did. Some of these things, and especially usually they talk about borrowing, we have borrowed a lot and they haven't seen anything, and we have also listed quite a number. Some of the things we have used the borrowed money for. Banking sector cleanup cost us 9.6 billion of the, and the NDC caused this mess. Eastern Regional University, Terminal 3, Kumasi Airport Phase 2, Accra Sanitation Project, design and construction of 87 railway line from Tema to Akosombo, self-help rural electrification, various road constructions as well. Now let's hit the financial sector mess. After overseeing the execution of fraudulent and evil malpractice that was of attempts to correct the wrongs are leading to a reduction in the rate growth. Political party B. You will recall that in 2015, which revealed the imminent close down of a number of banks in this country, due to deficiencies in corporate governance. They now unscrupulously to help genuine local banks who follow rules to survive. This is the only way we can build a strong and resilient banking sector and can support our agenda for growth and jobs. Now, the city politics as well, very important, the city depreciation. Friends of the media, the argument by the NDC on the exchange rate depreciation is very, very dishonest. While we agree that the ultimate goal of every government is to see a stronger currency in the context of the exchange rate management, our performance far outweighs that of the NDC. How can the NDC, that so pretended and presided over 31% depreciation of the city during their tenure, be blaming us for reducing the rate of the city depreciation from 31% to 7%? Friends of the media, another lie they put out today is that His Excellency the Vice President, Alhaj Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, said all Ghanaians will get bank accounts in 2018. What he said was practically gifts and financial practically make sure that the most Ghanaians get bank accounts in 2018, since the chunk of monies in the system are in the homes and not with the banks as savings. Ladies and gentlemen, what is evidence is that the good government of Nana Addo Dankwa government has done better than the government of President Obama. We have departed from incompetence to competence, from corrupt leadership to incorruptible leadership, from government that believes in vast branding to the government that believes in creating jobs for graduates. We have moved from poor economic fundamentals to a resilient economic fundamental. We have remained committed to the transformation agenda and would not be distracted by the NDC. We are talking about a government that promised free SHS, and in less than 2-3 months in government, the President boldly declared that that same year's teaching battle, free SHS, will appear. We are talking about a single blow came up with NAPCO. 100,000 young people. We are for Honorable Pangabu. He said he bought his first Land Cruiser through planting for food and jobs. And we have seen how food security is doing so well in Ghana. This is the president and the government we believe in. And in less than 2 years, we have performed far, far, far.
Before you go to the level. No, let him answer the questions before we go to the local meeting. Okay, my brother.
You guys wanted to build the structures before giving out the $1 million as promised, as you said. I'm wondering when the NPP government conceived the idea of ensuring that there are proper structures in place before the $1 million per constituency or district are released.
Thank you very much. This promise, the structure certainly is part of the promise. There are processes leading to the fulfillment of every promise. And when you promise that you're going to give 1 million per constituency, the setting up of the development of the fulfillment of the promise. So it is not about when it was conceived, but it was a package. That you go to some processes. And these, we are talking about some period that, they are cloaked in certain periods when we go to Parliament. So clearly, the setting up of these authorities clearly was part. No, clearly, I mean, we have always communicated. In fact, the NDC claimed that the fraudulent JIDA happened because it had no structures, there were no legal framework, supporting it. So clearly, we had in mind that once you're going to disburse these monies and you're going to set up development authorities, you need that structure to ensure that's always been part of our policy.
So how far is the structuring?
They have started working. That is the more reason why disbursement have started. And then they have started working. I mean, when you go to the Northern Development Authority, we have leadership there. When you go to Middle Belt and then the Coastal Belt, we have leadership there.
Any more questions?
He concluded that you've lost touch with the suffering of the masses in Ghana, and that you will not suffer. I mean, you will not survive the 2020 elections. As a party, how would you respond to this? How do you take this one?
Thank you very much. First of all,